one time I was dating somebody and he was upset at me about something. And so he started throwing books at me. He started flinging books at me, and he had a really crazy look in his eyes. And I know he hurt me that night. And so I was so scared. I felt like I had to run for my life. And I felt like there wasn't enough time to get my clothes on. So I go outside and I start running for my life. I thought I was running for my life. I could have been wrong though, but it felt that way to me. So I'm completely naked and I start running like a whole mile down the street. And I'm just so scared and shook up, I can't even stop to grab clothes. And I end up at these girls' house and I'm like, can you guys help me? I'm so scared. I'm running for my life. And they said, no, but keep going. I think this next person might help you. So I went to this next place and it was a beekeeper's house. And I showed up all naked. And he hands me a long shirt right away and gets me covered up, which I'm so grateful for. So he gets me all covered up and says I could sleep on his couch. And so I slept on his couch. And it was very nice that he helped me in the time of need. And I was with my partner at that time. He looked like the Geico Caveman. And he kind of had the Geico Caveman's personality too. The one that liked to dance a little bit. So anyway, I went back to talk to my boyfriend at that time. And at that point, I wanted to break up with him because he scared me so bad. I wanted to break up with him. And I'd been with him about a half a year at that point. And so I went back to break up with him. And while I was gone, he'd broken tons of my dishes. So I definitely dealt with that kind of abuse. And I went back to break up with him. And he grabbed my hair like a caveman. So he really was like the Geico Caveman. So he grabbed my hair like a caveman and pulled me into his cave, because our house really did look like a cave. It didn't have any electricity or anything. So it really did look like a cave. And he just pulled me into the cave and said, you're coming with me. And he just grabbed me like I was his property and like I was this cave girl. And well, for some reason, I just thought that was cute. I guess it was just the moment of somebody caring that much about me being with him. And I think I kind of had amnesia about everything that happened the night before. And I do think I have that sometimes. So I decided to stay with him. And then we met up with everybody else and on the street. So we met up with everybody else, the beekeeper and the two girls that we talked to. So we all met up together, and well, it just got a little wild. People were going back and forth and got a little wild there. And the moral of the story is I stayed with him. We had our lives together. And one time, all these dogs showed up at our house. And there was about 7 dogs that showed up at our house randomly. And they just were going all around the neighborhood trying to find food. And they found food at our house. So all these dogs show up. And I was like, wow, look at all these dogs. Puppies, they're puppies. So I was like, I guess I got to take care of them, you know. So I'm taking care of these puppies. And I'm like, I guess I got to name them because I got to know who they are. And I got to, you know, I want to enjoy this and everything. So I want to name them. So I decided I was going to name them after designers and purses. So we had Polo, we had Chanel, we had Dooney, we had all these designer names, Coco, of these dogs. And it was fun. It was fun living with these dogs. And I wanted them to be outside dogs, but we'd leave the window open at night. And one of these puppies was smart enough to jump through the window. So he jumped through the window. And so I said, well, if he's smart enough to jump through the window, I guess that's the only one that gets to stay inside. So that was our one that was more like a pet, you know, a close pet, where the other ones were all outdoor dogs. But anyway, I had a really good time taking care of these dogs. And then about a month later, the owners came back. They just had left them to fend for themselves. So they come back a month later and they're like, where's our dogs? And they take all 7 dogs back. I was thinking, wow, by this time we're attached already. You know, we wanted to keep one. But we had to give them all back after taking care of them for like a month. But at least we got to take care of them. That was really, really fun. They were really super cute dogs. I remember when I lived on that farm, we do all kinds of stuff together, and there was egg fruit, and there was noni, and there's a cattle farm right across the street, or right next door. There was the lava fields that we would hike through, hike to the ocean, have romantic times in the ocean. And it was a really, really special place to live. Very sacred. Very, very sacred. But this is, the Skyco Caveman was the man I had a baby with. And we have a child together named David Princeton. And he does look a lot like his dad. And we had a baby together. Altogether, we were together about 10 years altogether. Because we had a last hurrah a month before he died. And we had, it was a really funny, our last hurrah a month before he passed. I miss him. Bruce is a good man. And that night we spent together. He saw me by the Michael's craft shop. And he said, are you alone? And I said, yes. And so he wanted to hang out. So we went and got all of our favorite drinks. We got Grand Marnier. We got champagne. We got Blue Dog. We got everything we loved to drink. And we just camped all over. We'd camp one place, and then security would say we have to go, and then we'd find another one and another one and another one. It was quite funny. So we were on the side of a church and on the side of a bank and everything, just trying to find a place to sleep. And we had a nice talk that night. And he was telling me the value of communing with people. When he said communing, he meant connecting with people, having conversation, eating together. He was saying that was more important than other things. So we did spend a lot of time together that day and that night, and I really do miss him. He's a great man. He was funny. He had a good sense of humor. And he used to say things like, so my son's name was Princeton Star, and he used to say, why didn't you name him Harvard? Funny little jokes. So, anyway, I am grateful for him. I'm grateful for my son. I'm grateful for his parents. So grateful, and hopefully I'll get to talk to my son today. It's a beautiful day. Aloha.